guys, and welcome to our first travel along. Yeah. We're at Urunga today, and we've stayed 2 nights at Coffs Harbour, and we're going to Port Macquarie to stay 2 nights, and this is kind of between it. But this is a walkway that goes over the marshes and along the side of the ocean. It's about 1 kilometre long. It's quite interesting, so we'll have a look.
Like you're a friend of mine. Screen lights up when you come online. You ain't looking for a savior. Yeah, you know what you feel.
We've stayed in the camper for 2 nights, and it's really good. I've got the camping experience, and we've had shore power, so everything's on tap. But we've been quite comfortable. We've been comfortable, haven't we, Donna? This is Donna. This is my partner, Donna. So we've had a really good time. It packs up easy. It sets up easy. There's a few things that I want to change, but we'll go into that at a later date. But it's really nice. But we'll do a walk around when we get to Port Macquarie.
Don't cry, baby, it's no concern. Oh, touch and go. It's what I know, but I can learn. I don't wanna cause trouble.
So this has been our camp set up in the last couple of nights at Port Macquarie, and we're more than happy here. I'll just run over a few things though. This shelf up here has been absolutely invaluable, and it was one of those, I'll just throw it in, but to get like glasses or keys or the like, or your phones, and just throw them up there, and it's something that you can reach for from in bed too. Works superbly. We've been really comfortable in here, all our clothes fitted, and the bags underneath are getting less and less because our dirty clothes are sort of going into a bag in the car. But for us, this has been really comfy. The fan. This fan is absolutely superb. If you build a camper, you need one of those at least. But with all the windows, it's nice and light and airy. And with those all cracked at night, we've had a lovely breeze through here with no condensation whatsoever. So we're well chuffed with how that's worked out. As we've got 240 volt shore power, we've just been running this inverter hot plate, and this thing is a revelation. Not to have gas, it is just absolutely superb. So if you're in a caravan park with shore power available, this thing is a game changer. Coffee machine's been lovely, and yeah, it's worked out quite well. This navigator system thing, we just hang up here, everything's at hand. We're not missing having drawers whatsoever in our galley. And the beauty with this is, when we pack up, I just fold it up and place it on the kitchen bench, and it all works very well. The one thing that I do have to finish though is a shelf for the Weber on the side of the camper. It was one of the projects I didn't get done before we came away, and we've just been swapping out the camp table when we need to use the Weber. The Weber's been really good. We've done most of our cooking on here. We went to the co-op at Coffs Harbour one night and had a baked fish in foil. We've done a roast. It's just been absolutely superb. And the one thing I was concerned about was our water situation. However, just wandering around here and dribbling water out when we need it has worked out really well, and we actually haven't used a lot of water. Probably going for 1 litre or 1.5 litres a day. There's only the 2 of us. Today we're packing up and we're moving down the coast to where, I don't know, but we'll sort that out in a moment.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spreading. I
good morning, guys. Currently sitting on the rocks watching the guys surfing. And having a coffee because even with some rubber on it, it's a little bit cold for me in there at the moment. I just thought I'd spend a moment to run through insurance on the camper because it's something that comes up, especially when you're building these things yourself. I've had the camper insured through CIL Insurance. However, before I approached them, I sent some photos off to an online caravan RV valuation service, which turned out to be a caravan dealer in Sydney, but that's okay. All they wanted was some info on the camper, the rego, the VIN, some photos from all the angles, some photos from inside, and they've come back 2 days later with a valuation where it's probably a little bit lower than what a sale price would be on the camper. It more than covers the build costs and everything. So if something were to happen, I'm not out of pocket except for some of my labour, not all. So I was actually quite happy with it. Once I got that valuation, I approached CIL Insurance Services, and they're a well-known caravan insurer in Australia. Told them what I had. They said, oh, can you send us through some photos? It doesn't sound as if it'll be an issue. Reinforced the fact that I did have a valuation, and I was quite happy to send that through to them, and within 10 minutes it was basically all done. So caravan's fully insured. As I said, it's not insured for what a sale price would be, but it's insured for all of the materials and some of my labour, so more than happy with that. And if you've got one of these campers, if you're taking it out on the public roads, you really do need insurance in case something bad happens, and it very well could. So price was okay. They don't charge for month-to-month payments, and it's $50 a month. So I figure for $50 a month, it's money well spent. And if someone now steals it or whatever, I'm covered and I can build another one and not be out of pocket. So with regard to the camping experience, it's actually been quite nice. I'm finding the mattress a little bit firm to what I've got at home, and that's taking me a little bit to get used to. The double bed size, the width is fine because you can actually sleep right up to the edge of the mattresses, whereas like on a bed at home you can't do that because you'll fall out. The length, I'm 5'7", my partner's about 5'8", 5'9". We fit in it fine. If you were 5'10" or over, I'd probably be wanting a queen size mattress inside the camper. But apart from that, it's all good. A lot of people say they have problems with condensation inside these campers. We haven't had that issue. I've had all 3 windows open and the blinds pulled up with a gap of about so much on each window, left so ventilation can come through. And we haven't had any issues at all, so it's been quite good. Everything seems to have worked. I haven't had any real breakdowns or the like. I've met a couple of subscribers up here, and it was really lovely to meet you guys. On the way up here, the wind was absolutely howling driving along the freeway, and I was a bit concerned because it was the first time out with the camper. However, talking to one of the subscribers, he's got quite a large caravan, and he said he was having all sorts of problems driving with that sort of wind. So that sort of put my mind at rest. But everything's gone quite well, apart from being defected by the police in the Jeep. However, that's another story for another video. We'll go into that at a later date. But I'll just sit here, finish off my coffee.
Lost in an endless maze, the emptiness had afforded just
So we got home yesterday afternoon. We've done about 1,200 Ks on our first trip in the camper. We went through high wind, we went through storms, we went through a lot of things. I'm fairly happy with how it's going. There's a few things I do want to fix up in it though. The first one is in the cabinetry where we store our clothes. I think maybe a wire rack, lightweight wire rack or something, to give us 2 shelves in there, because at the moment we're just folding everything up and piling it on top of each other, and if you want something that's down the bottom, well, everything gets thrown about. So having a shelf would allow you to sort of access things easier. Apart from that, I've got an issue in the Jeep where when I'm charging the 12-volt battery in the camper, and I didn't have the issue before I put the red arc brake controller on, that I'm now blowing a fuse in the S-Pod unit in the Jeep every now and then. So I've got to look at that. I did notice that the S-Pod is blinking red when this sort of thing happens, and a quick Google has shown me that it could be that the earth strap from the battery in the camper is not large enough, so I can look at that. Small thing anyway. Apart from that, I'd like to put some shock absorbers on the camper. At the moment we're not running them, and I do notice that if it does get a bit of sideways movement when we hit a large bump, it doesn't go back to centre as quickly as what it should, and having some dampeners would fix that. The drawbar on the camper, I knew this when I went into it using this number 5 trailer, because it's not the ideal chassis for this, and I'm toying with the idea of putting a longer drawbar on it. That would serve 2 things. It would make the camper more stable on the road, because when it was high winds, when I'd come off like a bridge and there was the expansion joint, it would get a little bit of a tail waggle. It'd right itself fairly quick, but making a longer drawbar would help fix that. And the guys with these ex-Army number 5 trailers are all extending their drawbar by anywhere from 800 mils to a metre longer. And the plus side of that would, whilst it would give the camper more stability on the road, it also gives me the option of storing the Weber barbecue on the drawbar and building another box. Because at the moment, it's probably the only item that we use in the camper that I've actually got to put in the Jeep. So to be able to get around that would be absolutely wonderful, because then the camper would be self-contained, and you'd be putting a jacket or something in the Jeep, and that's about it. So that's where we are today, guys. Thank you for coming along on our short first holiday. I've got the awning and everything out, drying it off because we had to pack it up in the rain, which is a bit of a pain, but anyway, these things happen. But that's about it. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.